Morning, Kent State. I have many consumer updates on today's Flashcast. We start with Meta heading to trial. An antitrust case directed at breaking up social media giant Meta is heading to trial. This comes after a federal judge partly denied a request for summary judgment yesterday from Meta. The Federal Trade Commission alleges Meta overpaid for Instagram in 2012 and WhatsApp in 2014 to repress competitors. In an April statement about its request for summary judgment, Meta argues it faces competition from apps like TikTok, X, and YouTube. In a new statement, Meta says evidence at trial will prove buying Instagram and WhatsApp has benefited customers. After half a year of an inflation slowdown, inflation rose greatly this October. Laura Aguirre reports more on the story.
The Consumer Price Index out this morning from the Labor Department shows a 0.2% rise last month, which is a 2.6% increase year over year. The October reading is also a slight step back from the Fed's long-held goal of 2%.
Our policy stance, strength in the economy and the labor market can be maintained, with inflation moving sustainably down to 2%.
Chairman Jerome Powell announced another quarter-point drop last week, right after the presidential election.
We've learned from the election just how toxic inflation and high prices and high interest rates are to the American people.
Economist Larry Summers served as Treasury Secretary in the Clinton administration and is the former director of the National Economic Council.
The Fed has been in too much of a hurry to cut interest rates and much too much of a hurry to promise future interest rate cuts.
While Summers has concerns about the pace of Powell's strategy, many consumers had been waiting for a drop in rates to make things like homes, vehicles, and credit cards less expensive. Taking a closer look at the CPI numbers, energy costs appeared to stay steady after a string of recent monthly declines. Used vehicle prices jumped 2.7%, and airline fares also climbed 3.2%. One drop in something most of us use every week, gas prices, down nearly 0.1 of a percentage point across all fuel types. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
KSTV has been following the E. coli outbreaks from McDonald's Quarter Pounders, and now the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has reported 104 illnesses, including 34 hospitalizations and 1 death. These cases are spread across 14 states. The source of the bacteria is thought to be the slivered onions on the burger. They were recalled last month. The CDC says the onions would also be past their shelf life by now, so the risk of new infections is low. Costco is recalling 80,000 pounds of butter, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The butter is being pulled because the packaging lacks a contains milk statement. The recall includes Kirkland's signature unsalted and salted sweet cream butter. The products were distributed throughout Texas. It's unclear if there have been any allergic reactions. Customers can either return the butter or throw it out. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says Tesla has issued a recall over a faulty part that could cause the vehicle to lose power, impacting its wheels. The recall applies to 2,400 Cybertrucks built between November 6, 2023 and July 30th of this year. Tesla says it isn't aware of any accidents, injuries, or fatalities due to the issue. This is the 6th Cybertruck recall of this year. The chicken wars have begun again, but this time it's about who can call their recipe original. Last week, KFC sued Church's Texas Chicken alleging trademark violations. KFC said Church's started using the phrase original recipe in its advertising and promotions and ignored letters objecting the ads. The phrase original recipe has long been part of KFC's branding. The company first trademarked it in 1984. Church's declined to comment. Amazon launched a new discounted storefront called Amazon Haul. The mobile-only experience sells fashion accessories, home goods, clothes, and electronics for $20 or less. Amazon says most items are under $10, with some less than $1. However, these items can take 1 to 2 weeks to be delivered, and shipping is only free for orders over $25. Haul is Amazon's response to overseas discounted rivals like Shein and Temu. That is all the stories I have for this week's business headlines. For more stories from the world and our community, check out Kent Wired. Have a wonderful day, Portage County.